Today's Concertos to Kazoos question asks, what is the difference between a symphony and a concerto? Well, to answer that, I've handpicked history's finest composers and brought them here to Kazoo Stadium, where each will employ his own particular styles of music writing to find out who really is the Iron Maestro.
Okay, Doc, looks like challenger Ludwig van Beethoven is entering Kazoo Stadium.
And from the look on his face, he seems determined to win this Iron Maestro competition.
And why not? Beethoven has pushed symphonic composition into new frontiers of expression and was the first to make symphonic use of the piccolo, chorus, and triangle.
Iron Maestro Concerto.
Okay, looks like the heir apparent to the symphony will be going mano a mano with the master of the concerto, Antonio Vivaldi.
The combatants go for quill, ink, and parchment as the theme ingredient is lowered into Kazoo Stadium.
With a key system that is very difficult and complicated, the bassoon was originally given the name fagotto because of its resemblance to a stalk of wood.
I don't like the look on the challenger's face. This is definitely not a signature instrument for him.
Dr. Dick.
Go, Damon.
I'm here on the floor with the Iron Maestro, and he says that Beethoven's style is much too bombastic for this ingredient. He uses themes which are often overpowering, and that just won't work with bassoon.
Okay, strong words from the Iron Maestro.
It looks like Vivaldi is jumping in with both feet in what looks to be a bassoon concerto in B-flat, I think it is.
Yes, B-flat, but not to be outdone, the challenger is countering with a concerto of his
Dr.
own.
Dick.
Take it.
Beethoven is countering with the concerto, but it's a violin concerto.
Violin concerto. How's he going to incorporate bassoon into that?
Very unusual tactic from the challenger. I thought he'd be out of the gate with one of his signature symphonies.
Dr. Dick,
Go.
I've just asked the challenger if we'll be seeing a symphony, and he says bassoon can be a very tricky instrument on its own, much less in a symphony. He's not even sure he'll be attempting it.
Well, it looks like Vivaldi is onto yet another bassoon concerto, this one in the key of G. Make that G minor.
The Iron Maestro of the concerto remaining true to his namesake, featuring bassoon as the main course, with the rest of the orchestra as kind of a side dish.
1 minute remaining.
Dr. Dick,
Take it.
into the violin concerto the challenger has been working on, he has now added bassoon, playing the theme along with the violin soloist.
Wow, on equal footing with the soloist.
Maybe so, but I can bet who's bringing home the bigger paycheck.
Dr. Dick,
Go, Damon.
the challenger has just taken off the back burner a quintet for piano and winds.
Okay, a quintet for piano and winds from Beethoven. Would you look at what he's done with the bassoon on this one?
Looks to be a long lyrical line.
Right, very contrary to its typical image as the clown of the orchestra.
And speaking of orchestra...
Dr. Dick,
Go.
the challenger has finally gotten around to his featured entree, and it does indeed appear to be a symphony. Symphony number 4, I believe.
Wow, definitely a symphony. No featured instrument in this one, but I still don't see how he's going to bring out the true flavor of bassoon.
30 seconds.
Dr. Dick,
Take it.
I've just spoken to Iron Maestro Vivaldi, who says Beethoven is mucking around on his 4th symphony while I'm already on my 23rd bassoon concerto.
And counting.
I think I see what Beethoven's got planned here now. In the finale of this 4th symphony, he's going to sprinkle in bassoon, much like you would a fine spice.
You better be careful. You don't want to overdo it with bassoon.
But in this bold presentation, it looks like the challenger knows just how much bassoon to add.
Adds a smile to the face of the music and certainly adds a smile to the face of the challenger as time's up.
The Iron Maestro bassoon battle is over!
Iron Maestro Concerto, Antonio Vivaldi.
Well, I gave it my best. I composed 37 concertos using the theme ingredient. I could have done more, but I ran out of time, I think.
And the challenger, Beethoven.
It was not the easiest ingredient to incorporate into my music, but I think I was able to bring out the subtle qualities of the bassoon.
Both composers have used bassoon in their creations. Vivaldi furthering his exploration of the concerto. Beethoven has employed bassoon in 3 different styles, staying within the limits of the instrument, but showing us just how effective the bassoon can be in its different roles.
We have seen the difference between how a concerto can center around one instrument while a symphony must blend that instrument into the rest of the orchestra. My judgment, a tie. And when there's a tie, Iron Maestro Minimalism, Philip Glass, is automatically declared the winner. See you next week.
Be sure to join us next week for another edition of Concertos to Kazoos.